Slava Isusu Christu. Glory to Jesus Christ. I'd like to speak today about one of the main reasons why Blessed Vasey was arrested in 1969. There was a whole series of reasons why he was arrested, like listening to Vatican radio and other things, teaching catechism. But his first reason was for writing a book on the history of the icon of our Mother of Perpetual Help. In 1866, Pope Pius IX gave the icon of our Mother of Perpetual Help to the Redemptorists. And he said, go and spread her fame throughout the world. And so the 100th anniversary was on 1966, and Blessed Vasey took it as a project for himself, even though it was during the time of the underground church when it was illegal to do any of this type of work, to write in Ukrainian a history of the miraculous icon of our Mother of Perpetual Help. And as we were researching him through people who knew him in Ukraine, various sisters, various priests, various lay people, and we already knew that the main reason for his arrest was this booklet. And so we began to ask the various sisters, have you seen that booklet? Oh, yes, Blessed Vasey gave it to me to correct. In fact, we even found a board, a writing board upon which he wrote this book in one of the monasteries, and he worked it also in his own apartment. And we were under the impression that it was a booklet. And we kept asking those who had made the corrections, well, do you have a copy? Oh no, it would be very dangerous to be caught with a copy in our house. And so we had quite a few sisters who had corrected the book. And then one day we come to a bishop, Bishop Michael Saprecha, who was Bishop of Ternopil, and in interviewing him, he knew Blessed Vasey very well, was ordained a deacon by Blessed Vasey. And we asked him for that same question, if he saw or knew of the booklet Blessed Vasey wrote, for which he was arrested. He says, oh yes, I saw it. I saw it in the Museum of Atheism in Lviv as an example of anti-Soviet literature. And the museum was attached to the Church of St. Dominic in Lviv. So as soon as we could, we went into that museum, and we found some vestments that belonged to Blessed Vasey in that museum. They were mismarked as belonging to Father Joseph Velichkovsky, but they were Blessed Vasey's vestments. But there was no sign of the booklet. We had gone to the Center for the Cause of Andrew Sheptytsky, the servant of God Andrew Sheptytsky, a metropolitan of Lviv for 44 years. A great man, a great leader of our church, and his cause was being formed in Lviv, his cause towards beatification and hopefully canonization for sainthood. And we asked a person there, we were talking with the person in charge of those archives and that room, and asked would anybody that she knows that works in that Museum of Atheism, which is now called the Museum of Religion. She says, oh yes, I know. There was a Sister Gerarda who works there. Oh, she is a sister of mercy, a sister of the St. Vincent de Paul. And I knew where their monastery was. It was across town, on the other side of the downtown of Lviv. But this day was a Thursday, and we're leaving early Friday morning, 6 o'clock, back to Canada. And this is already around 2:30 in the afternoon. Be hard to have, we don't have her phone number. Be hard to cross the city to their monastery, and what if she's not there? And we had still a number of other tasks to complete before we leave for Canada. So we were kind of like depressed. We asked the Lord to help us somehow. And as we were leaving this Shutisky Institute, this is the Shutisky, you can say, a center for his cause, who walks through the door but Sister Gerarda? And so we quickly told her our dilemma, that we know that the booklet, a book that Blessed Vasey wrote, was in that museum, but we don't know where it is. It's not being displayed right now. Perhaps it's in the back room. She says, I'll look into it. And surely she did. And not only that, but one of our priests had contacts in that museum, and they found a copy in the back room of Blessed Vasey's booklet. Of course, they could not remove it, but they made a photocopy of it, and that photocopy they sent to us here in Canada. It was not a booklet, it was a book. We had a young lady from Ukraine, Pani Irena Ivankovich, who took the manuscript, handwritten and typed, Hashem was handwritten, and she put it into Ukrainian, typed it up so we could have the original copy now finally done. Even with the manuscript, there was a story involved. We got the manuscript. Of course, we have a lot of work to do in the shrine. So the manuscript stayed for about a year, untouched. We had an interview with a sister, Justina, who said that she met Blessed Vasey when he was being released from his second imprisonment, 1972, in Kiev. And they had a little talk together. They went out to the streets so they wouldn't be spied upon. No mics there. And so Blessed Vasey told Sister Justina, that book lit on the Mother Picture Health we were working on, I'll be back in a year, and then we'll finish that book. When I heard that, Blessed Vasey did not return to Ukraine, but died here in Canada. Then I immediately got to work to get the manuscript put into a booklet form, and then we got it also translated into English. And it's not a booklet, but a book of some 266 pages. For this book, he was arrested on January 27th, 1969, and was sentenced to 3 years in a prison in eastern Ukraine, in a place called Komunarsk, which is near Olkhamsk, in the Luhansk region, in the war-torn zone right now of Ukraine. And so we are, by God's grace, that booklet could have been lost in the back room of this museum, never to be seen again. And so by God's grace, we were able to find it and to have it available for all of us to read and to be inspired. And by God's grace, about 3-4 years later, we found the original copy. Of course, there were many original copies that were done on typewriters, and it was stitched by hand, and the cover was placed on by hand for a homemade booklet. And so we have that booklet in our museum here, and there's a second copy in the museum in Lviv. So we found 2 copies after all this, but it might never have been found or known what it was all about. So we thank God for His mercy and His grace for helping us to find this booklet, this book that Blessed Vasey wrote, and for which he earned his martyr's stripes. Slava Isusu Christu, glory be to Jesus Christ.